Good morning.
It's bright and early here at the RL on a Saturday morning. Morning.
Yes, we had to take a pause and come back at it the next day just because scheduling and all the fun jazz. So obviously we look a little different if you're watching this on YouTube, but
Liv looks fabulous per usual. Shout out to her. And I have like the slugged face right now.
Stop
back.
it. I literally, like, you guys, the reason being is I went and bought a bunch of new makeup yesterday and I was just far too excited to try it. So that's how
I'm
that
excited
goes.
for you to try it and see how it goes.
It's so fun. I love new makeup.
I've just started buying new makeup probably since high school when I was on my parents' money.
Literally, you're like, we know. I hate when some of these products like have expiration dates. I'm like, don't do that to us. Oh no, dude, yeah. Like,
Stop, they do.
No, like even eyeshadow. Like I don't use eyeshadow a lot, and like some of those palettes I have are like years old, and it's like
That's gross.
you like actually shouldn't.
It's
use
not
them.
gross, but like it's so normal.
It's like not,
bras,
but it is.
You know, like you just keep the same
Yeah.
bras until
Yeah.
you realize this one's a little past due.
Whoops.
On to the new one.
So picking it back up where we left off about what like having friends.
Yeah, the question was, we're in our late 20s now, and at this point in life, we are getting to a stage where a lot of people, and it's okay if you're not there yet because everyone's in a different position. However, a lot of people are moving on to the next stage of life, which is most commonly, you know, you're getting engaged, you're getting married, you're starting to have kids, you're starting that discussion,
whatever that next, yeah.
So these are like very big steps, and there's, I think oftentimes in friend groups, you maybe have one person, one or two people that are just not with that, and they still think they're in college, and so they assume that everyone else is still there too, and so the habits might be a little different. And I guess just to be blunt about it, you know, if you were a crazy partier in college and doing drugs or whatever, and you're almost 30 and you're still doing the same thing while everyone else is like, okay, you know, we left that behind when we were little wee babies in college. Now people are like, okay, like, come on, like, either are you moving forward now or are you just still stuck like in the same, I gotta swallow.
Stuck in the same like path.
Yeah.
Well, dude, it's actually so funny because my friends, when I hang out with like my old college girlfriends, I think that like sometimes they'll be telling like stories of like old me and I'm like, oh, I forget who she was.
Yeah.
You know, because like my life has so insanely chilled out and I'm so lucky to have known these girls so long that they've watched me through all of these phases. But sometimes when we're out about and like out on the town kind of a deal,
It'll peek out a little bit.
I feel like it does because like they've got the expectation that
you're gonna be a certain way.
They know me, like they've known me since I was 18. These girls, I'm 28. I've literally had these friends for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like no, like we talk about it. We're like, wow, we've made it to 10. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and we're so grateful. But like, yo, like they knew 18-year-old Olivia, and they still expect her to come out from time to time. And I'm like, oh God, I need an extra drink. We got to make this happen.
The more I get to know you, the more I realize or learn that it's probably like a pretty dramatic shift of like what, you know, just like what you were doing versus like, okay, are you outgrowing this now, or like,
well, that's what's funny about like the friends that you make like at different phases of life, because right, like the friends I'm making now, they know me as I'm in bed at 9 p.m. I wake up and I cold plunge and like I read books and like enjoy skincare. Old Olivia enjoyed like vodka. My motto is like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And
that's wild.
And like I was a big fan of eyeliner and lashes like all the time. Like,
I love that.
Yeah, so it's so funny to like watch the shifts, but like I had a mini existential crisis this week that's very applicable because Mardi Gras is this weekend in St. Louis,
which is massive in St. Louis. It's like the second largest Mardi Gras in the States.
Yes, and you know why that makes sense, right?
No.
Okay, well, history lesson for everybody.
History lesson, everybody.
Okay, because I was like fascinated when I found this out, because I was like, I didn't get the whole like French thing about St. Louis, and it actually makes a lot of sense, right? Because because that's why St. Louis is the gateway to the West, because this is the Mississippi River marks the start of the old French territory where Louisiana purchased back in the day. This used to be France. So all the French ships would come up through New Orleans and go up the Mississippi. St. Louis is located where the Mississippi meets the Missouri River, and all the fur trading would happen. So it became a huge hub from everyone coming up from New Orleans. There's your little history lesson.
There you go, you guys.
Wait, can you confirm this for me? Because you speak French. And I was told, so where Mardi Gras happens in St. Louis is the area called Soulard. Soulard means drunken, right?
Yes,
in French?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, like when you're in France and you're partying, saying like je suis sous, j'étais sous, that means like you were,
like you're drunk.
You were, it's like more than drunk. It's like I was.
Oh, you're like blacked out.
I was like really drunk.
She wasted.
Yeah, that's probably a better word. Sous is wasted. Yeah, I was literally gonna bring that up.
So wasted is,
which is where all the parties happen in
Soulard.
St. Louis. Yeah, is drunk town.
So me and my fiance were really contemplating, like, look, it doesn't exactly match with our lifestyle to go spend a day drunkenly darting, and also like there's all these tent situations, like all-inclusive packages and like DJs, and we're like, are we really about to go spend an 8-hour day at like an EDM concert when we don't listen to EDM music, drinking a bunch of drinks when like we're mostly sober these days? Like, it just doesn't really align. So I understand why he was like, maybe we like don't and all. I feel like I haven't like dove into the Mardi Gras scene, because like last year it was like my engagement. I was like overwhelmed with all my friends in town. I want to hang out with my friends more than Mardi Gras.
Was it that weekend?
Yes, but
it was like
it was way earlier last year than it is this year. It's like not the same weekend for some reason.
Okay.
And so existential crisis being like in my head, I'm like, okay, this is like, this year feels in a way like my last opportunity to go, like, I don't know, drunkenly go crazy, out and about, darty, Soulard, all the jazz, Mardi Gras. And I'm like, next year I will be a married woman, like hopefully maybe like slower down, settle down life. Like my fiance, he's 30,
possibly pregnant.
Well, that's a sweet thought.
Know.
You never know, but we maybe want to travel a bit first. So it's literally still never know.
Well,
Rachel's like, don't tell me. Rachel's like, catch
stop
up.
it. Yeah, like have your kid already so we can hang out.
She's like, I want to watch our babies play. Well, we might travel a little bit first, but who knows the timing of anything. It's just the case where like, yeah, realistically, do I think that I'm going to keep up year after year going out and partying in Soulard at Mardi Gras? No. My fiance is pretty much mostly over it. He went sober the last 2 years, and he's like, literally never again. Like, I'd rather blow my brains out.
Or just like, you know, the partying just becomes more elevated. It's like, instead of a town in St. Louis where girls are topless and people are throwing up in the streets, maybe it's like at a rooftop bar in Greece, listening to some house music.
You want to go to Scorpios and on Mykonos with me?
I absolutely do. It's on my bucket. Like, I'm just like, the parties over there, different.
I want to go to Ibiza. I've never been.
Wait, that's like one of my bucket lists to go to for like a girls trip.
Okay.
We're gonna go to Ibiza. The Girls Take on Ibiza. There's this movie on Netflix. It's like my favorite movie.
Wait,
it's
can we
called
do it for
Ibiza.
your 29th birthday? Because for my 29th birthday, it'll be like June and like too much. So maybe for your 29th, we go
October.
It'll be great to go to Ibiza in October.
Wait, that would be nuts. Well, maybe my 30th birthday. I feel like that's more of an excuse.
Then you're gonna like wait. No, 29. 29. That's a great birthday to celebrate.
That actually fucking is, because it's right before. Obviously, right before
we're marking
30.
Like, oh my god, our last like 20th year.
Let's just put it out in the universe that
So
I might be
Ibiza.
able. Well, the guys can come. They can just babysit and we'll go out.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Hayden would love to
I just
babysit.
need one.
We'll sign
one
up for
day.
that.
No, maybe we'll actually do it. We should do like a little group trip.
Well, and all you need in Ibiza, I've heard that it's like Vegas, right? Like you don't want to go for like long, and we can go see the rest of like South Spain or something.
Yeah, there's probably tons of places to like chill and relax, and there's designated
I've never been to Barcelona in
Neither
Spain.
have I. I've never been to Spain. It's like on my bucket. Wow.
I've done Spain, but like all of the north. So like we should go. We'll hit Ibiza for like a day or two, and then we will just go see Barcelona and be like cultural.
My soul
stuff.
is glowing right now. This is like the speaks to my
And
soul.
it'll be easier with 2 babies because you'll have me and Hayden, and it won't be like just on you and Luke.
Oh, okay. Well, sold right there.
What
Okay,
we're
there you
doing
have
with
it,
them while
folks.
we're in Ibiza to be determined. But
The guys are babysitting. No, we would love a day with them.
But
Well,
yeah,
that's where
so
bringing grandmas
elevated-
come into play.
but like, so elevated partying is on the forefront. It's just that, yeah, it does feel, Soulard feels very
Should that be,
college
like, a
ratchet. What do you mean?
Like, should we create this thing of like this whole chapter of like elevated partying when you enter your 30s?
Yeah, we should. Well, so this is literally, I was telling Rachel this yesterday about my dilemma about Mardi Gras, because it is very college ratchet. I mean, to all of our Chicago friends.
I've actually never been. I've just heard wild stories. Even my babysitter yesterday was like, yeah, no, I'm skipping out on that. Like, that's
Wait,
not my scene.
Did you ever do like St. Patty's Day big in Chicago? Because that's what I was going to say to all our
St.
Chicago
Patrick's
friends.
Day once in Chicago.
Once. Okay.
Yeah, because I wasn't living there. Like,
And
I
you
was going to
also
school in
weren't,
Missouri.
like the big like party like scene
Not
kind of
probably
gal.
like you. Like, I definitely had my moments.
What kind
but
of
like
impression
not
am I
like probably not like you, but like where I was with the timing of everything was like one, I did a gap year, so I wasn't here, and then the 1 year that I was going to community college in Chicago, I was able to do St. Patrick's Day in Chicago. But then after that I was at Mizzou,
Yeah.
which is still 2 hours away from St. Louis.
So it's like 6 hours from Chicago. It's even further.
Oh yeah, but
Way
then
too
like
tough.
to come back to St. Louis, and then like the one time I did want to do St. Patrick's Day or Mardi Gras, I remember this. Like, I had nobody to go with, and because I didn't have like a huge group of friends, hence like why I moved out. Like, it just whole chapter. So just like it just never worked out.
I feel like I've been okay. So officially, I've been to the Mardi Gras 2 times before, but each time has been like a stop by, and so I feel like I haven't done it up. So I'm like, this is my last hurrah attempt
Yeah,
at
what
Mardi
time's the
Gras.
parade? Are you missing the parade right now?
I don't think so. I wasn't planning. We weren't planning on going to like 10 or 11. Hence, I got ready before the podcast.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm like, we're gonna go, and so we bought tickets and everything. They were pricey, and so me and Hayden had to literally be like, look, we've got to be okay with just like, I don't know, throwing this money away and saying, if we're an hour in and we don't want to be there,
Yes.
we'll go home.
Yeah, you guys are on the same page.
We don't have to be committed to an 8-hour darty today. if we go there and we find out, you know what, we're not those people anymore.
You can go get really fun drunk, have some fun in the sun, come back, nap, order food, put on a movie, even though you guys aren't watching
midday
TV.
nap.
But like, maybe this is the exception day.
So
of,
we
like,
did
watching a
say
movie.
we could maybe. I feel like I need to backtrack for bringing that up. Yeah, so my fiance and I gave up TV for the 2025 calendar year. As you've all maybe heard, my fiance gave up alcohol for the 2024 calendar year. He likes to make these big sweeping declarations. He is a determined, committed individual. He always is like successful, like about it. So rock on to him, and it's always about like personal betterment. So we love that for him. And so this whole TV thing, we did say before we started the year, like, okay, we could maybe pick like a day a month. We didn't watch any TV in February at all, so we are allowed a single day for February still.
I think it's hugely about just acknowledging how much time some people actually spend watching TV shows and like how habitual it becomes where it's like they're normal. And I think by you guys even just like acknowledging it and just consciously being like, okay, are we choosing to sit and watch this now is a completely different thing than if you're just like habitually going in, okay, we're putting our TV show on and now it's nighttime and you go to bed and it's like, when did we connect during the day?
Well,
you know?
Yeah, and it almost makes sense to the chapter that we're in, because last year our goals were so focused on not drinking, not going out, and saying no to things to keep our head down and focus on work and business and all the jazz. So as a result, because we weren't going out, we weren't making dinner plans, we weren't grabbing drinks with friends, we spent a lot of evenings just like turning on the TV and tuning in just for like a few hours at a time. I feel like I've gone through periods of my life where I have not been sucked into the TV and I'm out and about doing all kinds of things.
Yeah.
He is a huge movie buff from a small town. He's like, I don't know that I've ever gone chapters of my life without like being glued to the TV.
Yeah.
So for him, I feel like it's a bit more of a challenge in a way. for me, I was so excited. I was like, hell yeah, I get you away from the TV. Like, let's do stuff.
Yeah, let's go do stuff. Yeah, that's how I was raised with, like, if you're watching TV, your brains are rotting unless it's sports. Shout out to my father. Literally, it was like, no, sports are okay. Like, we're watching soccer, it's okay. Your brain's, it's a little bit's fine. But like anything else, like, no, your brain is rotting right now.
Wow.
Like, it's gonna melt.
Wow.
But you're
It's
like a little
melting
kid.
inside
You're a little
of
kid. But like, when I was living in Atlanta in my studio, I was like, I didn't have a TV. I had my laptop. Like, I didn't pay for cable. Like, there's so many things where I'm like, I just didn't do this.
It just wasn't centered around, like, you'd find other things
exactly.
to do.
And then Luke and I are so like, oh, let's go do this. But then we did after the baby. I was just like, you just are exhausted at the beginning. Where I'm just like, oh, I am sitting down and we're watching all 6 seasons of Game of Thrones. Like,
today.
Now we choose something to watch and it's fun, but it's so easy to get in the habit, I notice, especially if you're like doing a series. And I'm like, okay, wait, but like I need to like connect with you and we need to talk. And like, so we play a lot of games.
You do?
We play so many games. The other morning he's like, let's play Mancala, which is a game with like, just look it up. I'm not going to explain it. No one cares.
Wait, that's one of like mine and Hayden's goals is to play more games.
Oh my God, we play a ton of games. I was not like this. I was not like this. He totally introduced me to it, and now
I
we
need
love
this to
playing
rub
games.
off on Hayden.
Well, we can have game nights and stuff.
Because my sister, at her house, they play a lot of games. So she's like essentially made herself my like board game library to like bring over a game and check it out. We went to Target when we started this year and bought a bunch of games. We haven't played a single one of them yet. Like we learned a new card game and we play, me and him, and he's got, you know, competitive nature of men. He's got on a whiteboard in our kitchen like the running
the scores of
I'm beating him by 2.
We have my husband has a list of all the games we play and who's won and the tallies of everything.
These men, I'm so like I wouldn't care.
Like, okay, actually, to an average, I'm beating him. I just want to note that.
I love
but
that.
Sometimes, like the other morning, it was like 6:30 a.m. He's like, "We're playing Mancala right now." I'm like,
6:30 a.m.
I like the game went so wrong because I was like, "I am not awake right now." I'm like, "It's not the stimulation I want at 6:30 a.m."
I don't even know what happened to the games that we bought. They have to be around my house somewhere. We'll show you
some. Well, we played some good ones. But those ones are a little bit longer. Anyways, there's so many. It's a great
so many
thing
things to do.
And it's actually fun. You laugh with each other, like you're competitive, and it's a great way to connect. That is just, I don't know, it just makes you feel like a little kid again because you're like, oh my God, Connect 4. And then it's just.
Well, it's like you need something that relaxes your mind and puts you into like a, I don't know, more relaxed mode for us, like work mode, especially when I'm. And him too, working at the house a lot. Like that's the reason why we're trying to change one of our guest bedrooms. We've got 2 right now. We're like, we don't have that many guests. We're gonna change it to an office.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because like it'll just be nicer for our lifestyle while we're here. So
totally,
yeah. But I know we went on a little side tangent. But I know Luke has a friend that you guys are struggling with because he's in his college days.
There's a couple friends. It's just, and I'm trying to think if I have one, but I don't think I really do. I don't think I really do because I didn't have like a ton of friends. It's just like a tight knit circle, and we've always kind of just been
growing together. Pretty basic.
Yeah, but there's a couple people that are, I think, just stuck in the realm of drinking or maybe doing drugs they shouldn't be doing, and not understanding why the people around them are not wanting to hang out with them because unfortunately they don't know where the limit is and they're not getting the vibe of the room. Or if they're around parents and stuff and they're just like going off on a tangent, they just don't get like how sloppy and how dangerous they become. Like,
no, it's got to be a lot more jarring for you because you're not thinking about, okay, do I want to hang out with you? It's more like, are you welcome in my house around my daughter?
I have such a 0 tolerance policy, and I'm seriously not ashamed to say that. And I'm not like, I am not beating around the
white.
I am not beating around the fucking bush. You
don't need a gray area when it comes to that.
We have a daughter. You like doing this. You're not welcome at my house. And on top of that, if we're having a party, our idea of party is clearly not the same. So like, we have to seriously think, like, if we have a wedding, are you invited? Are you not invited? And unfortunately, it's like, it's not really about you. It's about us and like who we have around us and like our kids and unfortunately what they're going to be exposed to. And it's just like, I'm not going to have a family gathering or party with people that we love and we really want to celebrate us and our love with you doing a bunch of coke in the bathroom. Like that's not gonna
I
work.
literally last night at dinner, we went to dinner with one of Hayden's friends and I was hearing a story about a mutual friend that they have who got kicked out of a wedding.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Could
you imagine being that couple like where you have to like ask somebody to like, I don't know, be kicked out or like, I don't know, somebody has to make that decision for you to kick somebody out of your wedding. Like it sounds so intense. I just can't imagine.
It's really hard. And obviously because we're on the topic of like weddings, like going through a list of who you want and who you don't want there is really, I can understand now how it becomes very controversial because it's like, well, I've been friends with them since high school or college. And it's like, okay, well, let me put it this way. Not once have they ever reached out. Not once have they ever made the time to come visit. Not once have they ever not been blacked out around me. Like, it's just like, great, you're friends with them, but like, what is our celebration about? And like, what do you want what do you want the vibe to be, you know?
I love that you guys are being so intentional with a guest list like that. Like we didn't invite like everyone we ever knew. It's just like Hayden being from a small town, there's so many like full families that are coming. That at least all got the invite. And for me, it's like, okay, like core group of friends, people as well. But we were like, okay, cool. Like if you're willing to make the trip to Mexico, we're willing to, I suppose, pay for your spot at the one event there because it's pricey. So we were like happy that we had that. Despite all of the craziness happening with my wedding, again, to be updated at a later date when things are settled. But yeah, so that's nice because for you guys, you have to like actually think. I mean,
we kind of do. And maybe this is a double standard, but I'm like, if you were friends with a girl that has never really made an effort to get to know me, there's no.
Shouldn't even be there.
She's not our friend. She was your friend like 10 years ago. like is that, do you get what I'm saying?
I do. And it's interesting because Hayden, again, my fiance being from a small town, they have essentially everyone in high school that they ever know are like all like they're like
maybe
all
I'm just a bitch. Maybe
year.
I'm just a bitch and like
no,
I'm just
it's
like,
different. We grew up different. Like I've learned this from them because you grew up in the Chicago suburbs, same as me. I don't really keep up with most people from high school. Meanwhile, I've got 3 wedding invites, all from his like people he went to high school with that I've maybe like one I've never crossed paths with in my entire life. And 2 are girls that he went to high school with, but I have actually met them before. I'm not like buddies with them, but it's like that's like their scene and their like norms amongst each other is like everyone gets the invite like all from high school. So I'm like, it's so bizarre to me that like we went to his 10-year high school reunion. I wouldn't be caught dead at mine.
Yeah. Oh God, no. My friends and I talk about, we're like, absolutely, no, we're not going.
He helped like essentially plan his. Like he stepped up to the plate. Like we went to the full like homecoming game at like his high school.
The only reason I'd want to go to my high school reunion is to see what people look like now.
But you have Facebook.
But I like removed so many people. So like I rely on other people that still follow other people to like stalk a little bit and be like, who let themselves go? Who's in tip top shape? Who's going to be the next president of the United States? Like, who's the CEO of the zoo?
I like the idea of all of that. Because
it's
like
just so mean girls like to me in the head. Like I do not want to go back to high school and see the people that I went to high school with. Like there's just no need.
I worry about like if I was back in like the same crowd of like all the high school people, I feel like I don't know. I was like a nervous, like anxious, like high schooler.
I had such low self-esteem.
Me too, because we were teenage girls. Like that's fair. Okay?
Maybe that's why I don't want to go back.
No, I'm literally like I don't want to be put into the mindset of like high school Olivia. Yes. Like, I'm proud of how I've grown, and I like where I'm at now. And maybe I'd walk in and like get to show off that confidence, or maybe I'd be like, "Oh my god!" Like,
I've actually thought that too. You're bringing up a huge point right now, which is like you're going to be triggered to your high school self, and I'm like,
I don't think I want
it. Oh my god, I don't want that.
No, I don't.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't want to I don't want to be her anymore.
Yeah,
you know
I'm
what
not
I mean?
her
I'm not
anymore.
her.
I'm a
I don't
mama.
even recognize her.
I'm a hot
Bitch with
mom now.
too much eyeliner back in the day. But-
Seeing like all the guys you maybe like had, like a fling with.
guys that I literally thought were like hot shit that are literally shit of the earth, and I'm like disgusted that I ever gave them any attention. And it's like, oh my god, like
You know, you cringed at your old self. You're
like cringe so hard. But like I do see girls that I haven't kept up with that I had beautiful friendships with at a point or another.
Yeah.
And I've watched them like on social media, like, you know, get married and become moms and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And I would love to like give them a hug and say like, I love watching your
Yeah.
life. So if any of you are listening, I absolutely love all of your pictures. Keep posting.
Yeah, I don't think
love
anyone
it.
would ever be mean. It's just like, and it's
No.
nuts because you're like 10 years have seriously gone by. What the fuck's the issue? Go and hang out. Like, everyone's gonna be nice.
Were we
Everyone's
the same
adults now.
graduating class of high school?
2015.
No, I was 2014.
Okay.
How was I? Oh, because you're October and I'm June.
Oh,
So you were old in your
different.
class. I was
Yeah.
young in my class. That's how. Okay, that's how that happened.
Yeah, I love October birthdays. But June's gonna be good too. You Gemini.
Oh my God.
'Cause I have a Gemini coming.
I know. I'm very excited about that. What's your due date again?
June 8th.
You know, everyone always asks me. They're always like, "When's your podcast friend giving birth? Like,
really?
when's your Rachel?"
It doesn't look
especially-
like I'm pregnant right now, but I am pregnant right now.
No,
I'm
you
about
got
to be
the
3
full
months
round.
out. Next week I'll be 3 months out from my due date.
What are you doing to mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually prep yourself?
I'm working out way more than what I used to. I'm staying busy.
Did you work out that much with Lucia?
Not at all.
No.
I just didn't like the feeling of it.
You
I
were also
wasn't
in a
there.
mental headspace that was like fuckery.
I was very, very, very anxious and very scared my first time.
Which
this
is
time's
fair.
totally different because I had a phenomenal birth. I do want to start meditation again, but I haven't done that in a long time, and I know it'll help.
I want to meditate about sunshine on my wedding day. I'm like, I think I can manifest that it's not gonna rain.
I love that.
So everyone just again say a little prayer, manifestation, whatever kind of mumbo jumbo that you like for me for
Yeah.
good weather.
Wait, okay, hang on. I have it. Okay. Since we are, we do plan to eventually bring some fabulous guests onto the podcast that we so dearly love or have just met, and just to explore that whole realm of podcasting. So I got you something, and it's going to be like a little hint as to maybe who we're going to bring on.
I'm scared of what this gift is gonna be.
My husband thought these were absolutely hilarious. So
This
I
is
thought
your husband that tried to pawn off on me truck nuts.
Oh. Okay, well that's gonna be perfect for what I'm about to give you.
Wait a second. Bikini and body jewels.
Vajazzles. They're vajazzles. Those are vajazzles.
You guys, they're vajazzles. Wait, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, if you're not watching the YouTube, I just went and showed the camera. This is hilarious. Are you literally like put this above your vajay?
Okay, so like you
have
go.
them too?
I got myself some too, because like why not have a little fun?
You guys,
I'm
there's-
sorry to my mother-in-law that's listening to this.
This is so funny. You guys, there's a cowboy hat.
cowboy
There's
hat,
a heart, a kitty.
I can't. And a bow. So this is like post wax. And it's supposed to last up for a week, and they're just like little body jewels.
Would
that
it
you
not
put,
be uncomfortable?
Well,
A week?
Well, she said it could last up to a week, so it's not just like it
Cute.
could last for a little bit. Not what I'm gonna put on during our family vacation in Cabo, but but any other time, I'm like, I just think it's fun to have a little fun,
A little spice it up.
because like you know how people would
A
go tanning and
vajazzle.
put like a little sticker there to like
Yes.
tan. Well, now you got some jewels, and it's gonna like you can live
Highlight
your
your
private
kitty.
porn star life at home and feel fabulous.
Your private porn star life for your husband. It's beautiful. Wait, no, that era of the stickers on your hip for
Yes,
the tan.
the cherry, or like was it the cherries?
Playboy bunny?
Yes,
everyone
yes,
did the
yes.
Playboy bunny. I'm a pale girl out here, so never dabbled that far into it, but had plenty of my friends with their little bunny star heart things happening
Oh
on
my
their
gosh.
hip. That and the belly button piercing.
The belly button piercing. What an era. I was listening to Lana Del Rey on the car ride here too. So this is like a whole era that I'm like, these were one of the greatest times.
Talk about taking us back to high school. 10 freaking years ago. Wow. Okay, so my high school reunion 10 years would have been last year. So yours is coming up this year.
Yeah.
Because it's 2025.
I think I just thought the school organized all these reunions, but apparently it's people from class that have to do it.
Yeah. Some girl attempted to from my class and nobody bought tickets. And so she like made a comment that it was like being canceled. And I was like,
fair enough.
I'm really sorry for her because it was a really sweet thought. It was really
sweet,
kind.
But it's just not quite like the movies.
Look, apparently it's for small town people these days.
We're not small town folk.
Not really. So it just didn't hit for us.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, we do plan to bring a guest on. And
Very
if you can't get the hint from our vajazzles, don't worry, because they'll be here at some point. And we're very excited to go down that path.
Woo-hoo. So thanks for listening, you guys.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.
See you soon.